This video will show you how to replace the camshaft position sensor on a Chrysler Town Country with a 3.8 liter engine. This will be located along the passenger side of your engine. Let's get into it. A quick note about doing this job. You will need to do a cam variation relearn procedure in the end. Typically that will be done with a scan tool. Let's get started. So we're along the passenger side of the engine compartment. We can see our air filter housing. There's a breather tube leading to it. Go ahead and take hold of that tube. We'll give it a twist, break it free. Slide that off of there, just a quick inspection. We'll set it aside. Now as we start looking at our air inlet tube, let's disconnect our electrical connector here. We do have a red locking tab. We're just pulling that away. It has a secondary tab. You squeeze that in and disconnect it. Just a quick inspection of all this. We'll set that wiring aside. We'll start removing the inlet tube from our throttle body. There's an 8mm headed worm clamp. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver if necessary. We'll loosen the clamp just enough we can remove this from the throttle body. The next thing we're going to do is remove our upper air filter housing from the lower air filter housing. There's two locking tabs for these tabs. Go ahead and squeeze them as I am here, and then we should be able to lift this up and out of position. For good measure, we're going to remove and inspect our air filter. We want to make sure nothing falls on top of this. Go ahead and set that aside. Now that we have that out of the way, the camshaft position sensor electrical connector is located right in this area here. Now you can easily gain access to this by making your way down along the backside. You have a clear view of the camshaft position sensor and the connector. Now as I make my way down along the passenger side of the engine here, this is where I can feel the electrical connector for my camshaft position sensor. Now we do have to disconnect that electrical connector, but it has a red locking tab, which will be easiest to dislodge if we remove the sensor first. Now with that said, looking down in this area, we can see our 10mm bolt holding this in place. We're going to be removing that bolt first. Then we're going to carefully pivot this sensor counterclockwise just enough that we can roll it out of position, lifting it up and out. Keep in mind the electrical connector will have to be removed. Now as for this 10mm headed mounting bolt, you can come from the outboard side of this mount. There's actually a small port for a socket to fit through. Once we get it onto that mounting bolt, we'll start loosening it. Let's just go ahead and remove that bolt. Now we should be able to reach down in here. I'm going to take hold of the sensor itself. I like to try to give it a little twist, breaking it free. Sometimes you may have to gently pry. All right, let's bring this up to an area that we can start disconnecting our electrical connector next. So now as far as our electrical connector, we do have one red locking tab. We're just pressing this out and away. We'll squeeze on the secondary locking tab right here. Should be able to disconnect this. A quick inspection for corrosion. There it is, friend. Prior to installing any brand new part, let's make sure we clean and inspect the mounting area. For this, I'm using a clean rag. I don't want to use any detergents which might make their way into the engine. Okay, let's get ready to install our camshaft position sensor. We're going to take this, we're aligning it with our electrical connector. We're going to press it in as far as possible. Now I did feel a click from that. It's definitely secure. I'm going to lock it down with my red locking tab. Just double check, make sure that is secured. Now we can get this in position. Line this up here. Okay. Now, as I was sliding that down, I could hear and feel an audible click. As I look closely, I can tell that it's completely bottomed out. Now, once you're sure that it's properly in place, we'll continue on with our 10mm headed mounting bolt. Start it in, snug it up, torque that to 125 inch-pounds. It's not very much. Now a quick trick for this, when you go to install the mounting bolt, you can slide it into your 10mm socket. Typically I like to use a small piece of paper in between the bolt and the socket. It takes up the gap and helps prevent dropping the bolt. Okay, that's bottomed out. Got my torque wrench on here. There it is. Let's go ahead and give that a quick wiggle. We want to ensure that it does not move around in any way. Perfect. One last quick inspection while we're still in this area. This looks good. Continue on with the installation of the air filter. We'll make sure we have it in the proper orientation. Rest that into place. Now, as we look at the lower air filter housing, you can see that there's 3 rectangular notches. If we were looking at the upper housing, you're going to find 3 locating tabs. We're going to take the upper housing, we'll get those locating tabs into each one of their notches, then we're going to roll this down into the fully locked position. Double check, make sure each side is properly secured in place. Let's focus near the throttle body next. As far as this area, we need to make sure the air inlet tube is over the throttle body. We're going to press it up against the throttle body towards the engine as far as possible and tighten our 8mm headed clamp. A quick note about tightening your clamp, if it skips a tooth, you have to replace the clamp. We do not want any dirty air making its way into the engine. Let's just double check, make sure that's secured. We'll continue on to our electrical connector. As far as our electrical connector, line it up, press it in. We'll listen for an audible click from that. Lock it down with the red locking tab. Double check to make sure it's secured in place. Reattach the breather tube. Make sure that's secured in place. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. The next thing you want to do is hop inside the passenger compartment and attempt to start the vehicle. But if the vehicle did not run properly or had a check engine light, you're going to have to complete a cam variation relearn procedure, which would be done with a scan tool. After that, just go ahead and close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.